YouTubers, welcome. Got some Fats Domino going on here. I'm going to Kansas City. Kansas City, here I come. Welcome to the trends. Some crazy little women there, and I'm gonna get me one. Australia edition tonight, guys. Australia edition tonight. We got some crazy things going down under. I want to thank everyone for joining me for housing market discussion in Australia. What is happening? Broadcasting from Merritt, British Columbia. Today is May 27, 2018. It is Mike Martens bringing you a very special edition. Very good topics. You want to stick around to the end of this show because I'm going to Kansas City. Kansas City, here I come. And you know why? Because we're going to do Macon, Georgia. Let me lower this here. We are going to do Macon, Georgia. And what am I talking about Macon, Georgia? Let me see here. Let me just open my other notes here. Okay, guys. Sorry for the delay start here. I just wanted to play some tunes when I kicked it off, just to get me in a good mood, get everyone in a good mood. Kansas City, here I come by Fats Domino. Thank you for that little piece there. Anyways, guys, Australia housing disaster. Here we come. Now, I've been sent many articles. Probably 97 different articles are appearing in my page. Mike in the Night, Oates is in. Oates is in. The comments there. It is 11 p.m. local time. Yes, that is correct. But most of the world, it is May 27th, early Sunday morning. So let's kick it up. Oh, it's noon in Australia. It's almost going into evening there. What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? Please stay tuned till the end of the show because today we are going to do Macon, Georgia. What am I talking about? Every time I compare housing and this and that and housing and kind of different locations and place to live, everyone's picking on me because I'm saying, okay, this part of Florida is really good. Oh, this part of Florida is great to live. Everyone's making fun of me saying, oh, the reason why everything's so cheap in Florida is because it's a crap hole and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, I got a nice city that I've been to. Okay, the cities that I'm gonna be spotlighting in comparison to the ones in Australia are ones that I have been to, that I have spent time in, that I've shopped in, that I've taken at least 2-3 days in. So I'm not gonna be spotlighting cities I don't know, and that I could vouch that I have physically been there as a human being, standing there on the corner of 10th Street and Vine. Anyways. Okay, let's do this, guys. Brisbane's two-speed apartment market, the ups and downs of generational shift. This is from 2 days ago. There is no doubt that Brisbane's apartment market has suffered over the past few years amid the alarming headlines and plummeting approvals and collapsed developments. The impact on sales and prices is very real. Data of the Domain Group shows Brisbane's median unit price has fallen every quarter since June 2016 and is now sitting at a 4-year low. So what is happening? What is happening? Check this out, guys. Check this out. Snapped up in a matter of hours, this cool $2,449,000 condo. Holy crap. Holy crap. You could... Yeah, let's move on. Across town, prices are often reluctantly being reduced to meet the market. Recently, it was reported a Brisbane unit development had resorted to huge price cuts to move the last of its units. So the people that bought at the beginning or bought the pre-builts of the units, people jumping in now are getting it for cheaper. So anyways, where we go, that has resorted to huge cuts in the last of the units. So huge cuts were slashed nearly 25%. So Basically, if you bought in at pre-built to jump in and get in these units before anyone else does, pre-built, breaking ground, and, okay, no big deal, right? I'm going to get in, I'm going to secure, I'm going to do this. Boom, towards the end of the build, slashing prices by 25%. How do you think the guys feel that bought pre-built and now it's being completed? The other guys are scooping them up for 25% less. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Wow, the oversupply of cookie-cutter units continues to negatively impact prices. Units at the other end of the price spectrum are performing exceptionally well. Agents refer to two-speed apartment market, where the demand for units upwards 2 million is outstripping supply. Confidence is high and prices are rising. In the sharp contrast with the rest of the lower-end apartment market, where, although now only minimally, prices continue to track downwards. Why? Because that's the middle class could afford the cheaper units. Who's going to spend $2 million on that condo? $2.6 million on that condo. Who? I think people really need to get some perspective on what's happening in our apartment market, as a whole. We've transacted 50 million in high-end apartments alone this year. I've never been busier than I have now. Wow. 50 million in high-end apartments. Wow. That's 7, 8 apartments, 10 apartments maybe. Recently, the 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom apartment overlooking the River Newstead was snapped up by a cash, unconditional buyer. Yeah, everybody knows who that is. Who inspected the property at 3 p.m., offered to pay the full price, asking of $2.449 million by 5 p.m. The super swift deal was brokered by, I'm not saying his name. So, at the same time, the rest of the unit market was not doing so well. At the end of the market really changed. So, 2 years ago, trying to sell an apartment over $2 million was very difficult. But over the past 18 months, that's changed significantly. Could it be that the outflow of money coming from foreign countries are moving faster? Could there be war on the horizon? Could there be people needing to flee their country and bringing all their assets with them? Predictably, a significant portion of buyers spending $2 million plus on apartments are downsizers. Wow. It's a case study often told. Old retired couples sells their large inner-city family home, swap it for a large inner-city apartment, often on the river in the same suburb and suburb nearby. I would actually take that equity and do something else with it. It's a really long article, guys. If people are spending 2 to 3 million comfortably by those purchases and are going to have to impact on the other end of the market because it gives buyers confidence, he said, and so much real estate is about confidence. No, it's not. It's about the middle class leaving, and that's why the lower priced apartments are declining since 2016, because the middle class are leaving these cities in mass exodus. Movement of the people. I should get some Bob Marley here. Exodus. Movement of the people. Okay, so Kevin is saying massive oversupply in apartments about to hit Sydney. Then Dale Cunningham from the TV series Happy Days says, 12 months ago, Sydney clearance rates were 70%, now running around 55%, and prices down 4 points. Yep. Let's move it on. Experts pick Melbourne suburbs to buy into and suburbs to avoid right now. Isn't that like robbing Peter to pay Paul? What do they mean by that? Let's find out. As Melbourne's markets start to cool off following years of rampant growth. Guys, let's get like serious about this, okay? Australia's housing market's been in a bull run, I'm not kidding, since 1979. And it's been steady. It's been a steady flow of increasing since 1979. So if you owned back then and you could ATM your house as an ATM machine and withdraw money, $100, $200 a day in value as it goes up, why do you think an average house is $2-3 million in some cities? Do the math, $100, $200 a day. I mean, you could live pretty decent, you know. As Melbourne market starts to cool following years of rampant growth, 7 top agents have shared their top tips of where to buy and where to avoid. So let's move down. Which suburbs are flying under the radar? Which suburbs which should you be wary of? Which suburbs? Oh, it's telling me in here. I thought there was it was going to go down to lists. In the market, buyers have to look back at basics. Location, location, location. Look for amenities, schools, trains. Where in Kew. So Kew, Harthworth, those types of suburbs, when you see the market move, there is, these are the first you see moving. Which suburbs are flying under the radar? The market's kind of adjusting itself. We're in a bit of a holding pattern. Buyers are sitting back and waiting to see what happens. That's what's happening right now in Australia. A lot of buyers sit back. Guys, sit back, relax, okay? Because the market's peak, most buyers are switched on into the suburbs in the inner east of the inner east at the moment. Because of that, there's nothing of value. Which suburbs should be wary of? Those suburbs that aren't supporting by infrastructure, whatever. So this is a really long article too. Let's move on. You guys can look it up if you want to see it. More renters priced out of the Melbourne due to extreme affordability issues. Again, same problem. Same problem. Suburbs including Melbourne, CBD, Fitzroy, Richmond, and South Melbourne were severely expensive for a hospitality worker on an income of $55,000. And others such as Rosanna, Oakley, East, and Maryborough were found to be unaffordable. So more and more places are becoming less affordability's out the window. The December Rental Affordability Index released on Wednesday showed 12 suburbs were severely unaffordable. Suburbs! All right, let's go back to the comments here. To my right. Mike, how do you have so much energy this late? Well, you know, most of the time I'm just playing board games or video games at the store, or I'm what am I doing? Listing things on eBay, hanging out with people. I'm not really, you know, carrying around bags of sand and bricks. So I got energy. Oates is saying, wow, I'm surprised. Oh, no. Someone else is saying, Mike, do you still believe that the summer blame game is about to begin? It's the best. Screw the World Cup this year. World Cup's going to be boring. I don't think it's going to be fixed. So you're not going to see people falling on the ground like crazy like you used to. I think the summer housing blame game is going to be the show to watch this year. Better than reality TV. Better than whatchamacallit, Survivor and all those live shows you watch, reality shows. The housing blame game is going to be the best blame game in the history of blame game history. Bigger than who started World War II. It's going to be bigger than anything because it's going to affect every human being. Let's keep moving, guys. Let me just close another window here. My stream is kind of going fuzzy here. I don't know why, but then someone says, wow, I'm surprised. Before Melbourne was apparently affordable, it was ranked very affordable place. Not anymore. Everyone's left Sydney and other places and headed to Melbourne. And now Melbourne's just completely out of reach right now. And in the suburbs of Melbourne, we're not talking about in Melbourne, we're talking about in the suburbs like 20, 30 miles, right? Then Arthur is saying the Australian market is going the way all the other bubbles. Surprise, surprise. And then Kevin saying migration is the only thing holding up Sydney house prices. I don't see intermigration into Sydney, man. I don't see intermigration. I don't see people coming into Sydney. I see people going out of Sydney, right? And then the people that are coming in are immigrants that are coming in with a lot of money, and then they're propping that up. I think immigration is coming into Sydney, and then the outer migration is leaving Sydney. So the Australian proper is leaving Australia, leaving Sydney. Guys, don't forget to stay to the end of the show. We're going to do Sydney, or whatever these places we're looking at here, versus Macon. Oh, yeah. We're going to be there soon. Don't worry. Macon. Okay, here we go. You know, I was laughing so hard when Vancouver was ranked one of the most affordable cities. Yeah, I saw that the other day, and they said that affordable rent, according to the city of Vancouver, is, was it $3,285 is considered affordable rent? And guys, we're not talking about 3,275 pesos. Or Chilean pesos, or bolivares from Venezuela, or bats from Thailand. We're talking Canadian dollars. That's about $2,700 US for a considered affordable living. And then the Don says, Mike, your channel rocks. Thank you very much. I try my best, and I'm real. You know, I'm real. I say it how it is. I can't read, and you know what? I'm just here to get the message across. It doesn't matter what I look like or how I present, or how I'm a real guy. You know, you could have a coffee with me. There's no difference from me talking to you right now online. There's no talking to you through YouTube. Anyways, I mean foreign migration. That's correct, Kevin. Yeah. I recently sold 40 miles from Melbourne. This is from Dale commenting here. I recently sold 40 miles from Melbourne in the anticipation we were going to have a downturn. I was wrong. 6 months. Haha. Waiting for the bottom with 200K crash, ready to pounce onto something small. Yeah. That's for sure. You gotta... It's a market. It's a market. So someone just told me in the comment section that they just ate pho. They're opening a pho restaurant in Merritt. They're hiring cooks and applications. They're taking applications. So if you could cook pho, come to Merritt. We'll interview you. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's move on, guys. Virtually no affordable rental options in Sydney for households on minimum wage rental affordability and index. This couple here earns about 70 large, and they spend 30% of their income on rent. And then the parents are helping to subsidize the cost. It is very mild improvement, and it comes about for more accurate... Let's see what we got here. Public housing stock remained virtually static over the past 2 years, and to keep up with the current population growing, additional 21,000 dwellings were needed to exclude replacements rather than earmarked 9,900. We need to start to see social and affordable housing and social infrastructure because it's part of the fabric of the city and what makes the city work, and also supports the productivity and economic growth. People aren't able to pay their bills. If you make 70 large a year and you can't pay your bills, there is something really wrong, guys. So, just like a guy I was talking to that came to visit me at my store, and he came from Vancouver. He came with his wife. He's on his way to Kamloops, but he said, I'm going to stop in Merritt and see this guy. He's probably at a store. He drove down to the store and saw me. And I asked him, what do you do in Vancouver? He's like, oh, I'm a family physician. I've been a family physician now for about 7 years. I'm like, oh my God. He's like, what? You're broke. And he's like, he starts laughing. He's like, yup. He's like, sometimes I can't pay my cell phone bill. I have to pay my bill the next month and double it up. That's how bad it is. Oh my God, you're a family doctor in Vancouver? You're broke. You got no money. He's like, yeah, Mike, 100%. I'm broke. And he has an older car. I saw his car parked in front of my store. He's not spending money on cars and extravagant clothing. You know what I'm saying? So when I tell people, yeah, you know what? I'm going to move to the Azores. I'm going to move to somewhere in South Portugal. And people tell me, Mike, what about your kids and the education? For what? He becomes a doctor. He's broke. What's the point? What's the point? And let's move on. Auction bounce back for Sydney, Melbourne put market still unforgiving. Bargain hunters have jumped back to the housing market, sending auction clearance rates back above 60% in Sydney and Melbourne. Economists predicts further falling house prices did not deter buyers on the weekend, whose bidding at auctions delivered a 63% clearance rate in Sydney, up 48.7%, according to Dominion. Melbourne edge higher 61.3% from 57.3%. So I can't access this because they want me to pay for fake news. I'm not paying for fake news. Let's move on. Rent increasingly unaffordable for low-income households. Act new report. Again, a new report has labeled renting in an act as acceptable to the average income, but for hospitality workers, pensioners, single persons on benefits, and nation's capital, it's a whole different story. The latest releases on Wednesday show that ACT is the second largest affordable place to rent behind Sydney and for low-income houses. It's getting out of control. Why house prices in these obscure patch of sunny coast have risen to up to 26%. For a long time, Kawana Island flew under the radar, mainly because people who lived there loved it so much they never left. I know people who have moved house number of times, but only within the island, says local agent of McGrath Codrow, with a laugh. It's sort of a place people stay for a lifetime. So it's not one to get noticed a lot. But that's all changing. See, there you go. Things are changing. Demographics are changing. Tucked behind Nicolin Way, south of Maluba, Kanawa Island is tightly knit and tightly held. A community only minutes from the ocean front. Warna and bordered by picturesque Mulaha River. Surrounded by suburbs. The house prices skyrocketed in the last 12 months, in some cases 27%. Holy smokes. The latest domain group data shows the median house price in Minyama, South Maluba, has risen a whopping 26.62% in the medium of $825,000. Wow. House prices of Pereira, which encompass Kawana Island, have risen 4.22% in the past 12 months, a new medium of $655,000. So I don't think on these little islands you're going to get a job. You're going to get a job that's actually going to offset living on those small type of islands like this. I don't know if there's... I don't see one commercial building there. It's all residential. So, like the guy said in the article says, more mainly retirees, right? So... Okay, what's going on here in the comments? Mike, I'm in my early 20s. I'm working 7 days a week in masonry. It's very expensive here. I shouldn't be working 7 days a week in my early 20s, but Vancouver is just terrible. I hope that mobility tax doesn't happen too. Then someone says, masonry, huh? You might want to rethink that. Your back will thank you later, yeah. Dang, it sucks, man. But you need to do what you need to do because it's stressful in Vancouver to survive. You need to get out of Vancouver. Yeah, man. Oates, open a masonry company somewhere in the interior, man. You don't have to worry. Open your own company. If you got the suppliers, you know who the suppliers are, and you know if they ship, if they could ship to you, if you're in the interior, find out who the suppliers are in the interior. Start contracting jobs, dude. Pay a quarter of the cost of living and just start. Your car insurance goes down. Everything goes down. Everything changes, you know. And Dale saying, Australia's nuts. We get $28 an hour stacking shelves in retail supermarket job. It's $35 on Sundays. And Oates says, I'm considering Portugal, like you said, Mike. Yeah, Portugal, you're not going to make a ton of money, but you're going to be happy. I think the average minimum wage there, I think is like 1,400 euros a month. But but it's a completely different lifestyle. Like I said to you guys many times, I'd rather die poor and be happy than die rich, extravagant, and just never satisfied, never feel love, never be in those those kind of being with friends situation, you know, real friends, real people. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Portugal's wages are low, but like I said, it's a completely different lifestyle. Everybody's got your back. In Portugal is different. Everybody knows you. Like when you move in, let's say you move into a place, you have to know your neighbor. You go over, you talk, you bring some food, they give you some wine, you sit down, you talk, he shows you his backyard, you go to the other neighbor, you do the same thing. Because they have your back. Your neighbors always have your back, and they're always there for you. It's very different in other countries. Someone's saying, no, 1,400 euros a month, not 14 euro a month. Yeah, so Oates is saying, Mike, Vancouver's work. Portugal is more relaxed, like you're talking about. It is. It's more relaxed. You could do masonry there. You could do marble work. When you go there, you see the streets are all like this beautiful stone. Interlock stone, beautiful, polished stones. Beautiful work there. But like I said, it just starting a family and laying roots wouldn't be too hard there. So that's that with that. Let's move on. What 600,000 bought you on the weekend auctions in Canberra? So let's move on to Canberra. 600 large in Australia. If you were buying a home at auction in Canberra over the weekend and your budget was less than 600,000, your options were limited. Here we go, guys. 700 is the statistic. Okay, $405,000 for this. This house, $504,000. This house, $532,000. Is that a house or is that a gazebo? Oh, it's the backyard of that other house. Okay, never mind. This house, $537,000. This house, it's attached, so it doesn't look. It's not a mansion, guys. It's an attached home. 600 large. So don't freak out when you see that and say, whoa, it's so big. No, it's not. So that's that. I'm going to move this here. I'm going to move this here. So we could look at Macon. Macon's important, guys. Macon is important. And this, we're going to keep it to the end of the show. You see what I'm talking about. Criminal sanctions are available for false statements. Tools for empty house crackdown. Okay, so Australia is looking to start cracking down like Vancouver is. France is ahead of the game. France is like taxing 70%. 70% in empty homes in Paris. Paris is turning into a ghost town. So let's hear what this do's and don'ts of buying. Would you dob in your neighbor for leaving their home unoccupied? I would. It's not like I'll be a penis about it, but if I don't know my neighbor and they don't talk to me and I see them once a year, and when I do see them, they look at me like I'm a criminal. Yeah, I'll be the first. I'll go to the office and rat them out. That's the hope of federal and state governments. They prepare for a major crackdown on houses and apartments sitting empty around the country. In November, federal parliament passed a legislative giving Australian taxation office power to fine foreign investors up to $5,500 a year if they leave their properties empty, plus $52,000 for failing to log their forms. That's good. Meanwhile, in Victorian state government, vacant residential tax kicks in from January 1st, with owners in 16 council areas facing potential fines equal to 1% of property's value. In 2016, 11.2% of private dwellings were unoccupied on census-night. Wow, that's a lot. Holy crap. Compared to 10.7% 5 years earlier, totaling 1,000,000 89,000 dwellings in Melbourne and Sydney. The number of empty properties increased by 19%. 1 million empty dwellings. Holy crap. Woo. $5,000, that's 50 million. You know, they got to do more than $5,000 on empty dwellings. 500 million. No, yeah, they got to do more than that. Australia has they could bank some serious money now on these homes. Lack of reliable data on empty homes is a major problem in Australia. In 2014, analysis of water usage and data by Prosper Australia estimated about 82,000 homes. Melbourne were vacant and about half the census figure. Holy crap. Applying similar conversion factor to Sydney census numbers would indicate that around 68,000 speculative vacancies. Proof Pawson wrote. Holy smokes. This is nuts, guys. This is nuts. Mr. Barbara added that acadotally, I can never say that word. I don't know why. Acadotally, Chinese buyers who would until recently have bought properties without even seeing them have dried up. That's all gone now, he said. So people were buying properties without even seeing them, and that's very true. People are bidding on homes, and they have a cell phone on speakerphone, and they're bidding on the house, and they're saying, "Oh, okay, yeah, okay, raise, yeah, raise, So Dale Cunningham says they are in Oats. 1 million in outer suburbs of Sydney for knockdowns. Prices are already down 4%. Yo-yo, and there is still much oversupply. Oh yeah, Australia's in a pickle right now, and now with these vacant homes, they're trying to. Australia's in a nut right now. They need to figure something out big time, because the country as a whole, in Canada, it's mainly Toronto and Vancouver, right? And other parts of Ottawa now are slightly going up, but you're not going to see too much noise. Same thing with Alberta, no noise. Saskatoon, Manitoba, no noise. Newfoundland, no noise. You know, but it's Toronto, Vancouver, where all the noise is in Canada. But Australia, it's like everywhere is expensive. And if it's not, you blink your eye and it's expensive. You drive, you put gas in your car to drive to the next town to check it. By the time it took you to drive to that next town, that other town is already expensive. You don't make it in enough time to get there. That's how bad it is. That's how fast it changes. And another article, it mentions Vancouver. Taxing empty homes, a step towards affordable housing, but much more can be done. Vacant housing rates are rising in major cities across Australia on census-night. 11.2% of houses was recorded as unoccupied, a total of 1,089,000 dwellings with housing affordability stress. Imagine a million units, 4 people per unit. That's 4 million people that have nowhere to live. That's 4 million displaced people. That's like 2 million people couch surfing at friends' houses. That's 2 million couch surfers, people. That's a lot of... That's huge. About 150,000 dwellings in Sydney and Melbourne, including many apartments, are speculative vacancies, but establishing tax liability isn't simple. It's nuts. Yeah, and that's, yeah, so people, this is a big eye-opener, guys. People living in Vancouver, pay close attention. Living in Toronto. There's a reason why I'm talking about Australia, because everything works in motions and in patterns. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys remember watching the movie Point Break. With Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze. It's very important, because at the end of the movie, he was telling him how he was going to go to this place because everything works on these weird patterns, and every couple of years something happens with some waves. Well, this is what's happening with the housing crisis. It's these anomaly of patterns happening right now all over the English-speaking world. It's affecting Jamaica. Now it's affecting parts of South Africa. It's this anomaly that's happening and shifting in patterns and movements. And every couple of years, something happens, and there's a huge shift in the paradigm. You know, and this is what's happening in the housing market. Believe me, it is. Something is, Kevin is saying, no idea how the typical family's keeping up with their mortgage. Cost of living in Australia is so high. Today, fuel was $1.50 a liter. Holy Christ. And gasoline in some states in America went down 63 cents a gallon per gallon. It went down. By the way, Mike, sorry for going off topic. Can you make an entire video on countries to move to when things in Canada get too expensive? Your last stream was promised. No, I actually... If you go to my channel, guys... Here, I'll even play it for you guys here. I'll play that video before we go into Macon, Georgia. Okay, guys? Before we go into Macon, Georgia, I'm going to go to the top 10 cities you should move to when the poop hits the fan. So let me see if I type in poop, if it comes up on my videos. Poop. Oh, there's a lot of poop here. Man, everything has poop in it. Wow, everything has poop. Okay, let's go. I don't know why it comes up like that. Let's do hits the fan. I did a video on that already. There we go. Top 10 places to be when the SHIT hits the fan. And so it's going to flag the music here. So I'm going to turn down the music. So these are my top 10 cities. Runoff on the markets. I made this thing like 5 years ago. So these are the top 5 cities I've chosen. Let's put this on full. Oh, you guys can see it here. So these are the collapse of society. Where to go? These are my top 10 picks. Number 10. Island off the coast of Brazil. It's called Ilha de Fernando de Noronha. It was built by the Portuguese in the 1500s. And that is one place I will go to if I need to get away from everything. Portuguese cannons. Number 9, Cusco. That's in Peru. Cusco is far away from all major... It's quite a distance from any major city. It's a nice place to live in peace and tranquility. It does get some tourism, but it's a good place, believe me. Number 8, Yellowknife. I know. Yellowknife is definitely a place that you could go to when the poop hits the fan. It's not as heavily populated. There's a lot of things to do in the summer and winter. And it's got some nice aurora lights. You can buy a house with a plane, see? Open highways. Fishing. Number 7. Tasmania. I'm not so sure anymore. I don't know if I would put that on my list. Tasmania is an island off the coast of Australia. I don't know if that should be there now because Tasmania is going up in price. A lot of millennials and a lot of middle-class people did move there. Where's this? Oh, Iceland. Yeah, Iceland. I like Iceland. Yeah, definitely a place to be when if the poop hits the fan. I think that's it. Is it ice? I don't know. Sorry if I get that wrong. Okay, number 5. I'll pay better attention here. São Tomé e Príncipe. São Tomé e Príncipe is a former Portuguese colony. It is extremely peaceful. The country's never had any major wars. The country is very neutral to everything. It grows its own produce. The people are very very sympathetic to get along. Everybody talks to each other. It's Roman Catholic. And there's the Portuguese founding fathers there. Founding fathers. Number 4. New Zealand. I chose New Zealand in that time because this was before 2012. Before the thing. And right now, New Zealand, guys, definitely not. It's too expensive right now. Number 3. Oh, the Azores. Yeah, the Azores. San Miguel. For sure. San Miguel. That's where I was born, right there. Cidade. There's Santa Cruz. It's in the Azores. That's the Portas dos Açores. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Azores, man. So if the poop hits the fan, I'm definitely heading out there. Yeah. That's another city there. Number 2. This is Iceland now. Iceland, for sure. Iceland is a place you want to be. They got rid of their banking system. Their banking system got changed. They arrested all the banking people. They took the people took their country back. Iceland's GDP is growing right now. Iceland's cost of living is going down, but GDP is going up. Jobs, infrastructure is going up in Iceland. Yeah, Iceland's definitely a place to look at, guys, because right now they're not on that monetary crap system with the World Bank, and they're a free country right now. Iceland's very free right now. Number 1. What did I pick for number 1? Remember, this was many years ago. Greenland. Yeah, Greenland is a place very hard for something to happen to you in Greenland, you know, unless you die in an avalanche or something. But yeah, definitely Greenland is definitely somewhere to be when the poop hits the fan. So that's that, guys. There's Greenland. But imagine living that lifestyle. That'd be awesome. Just to spend 2 years, just to be there for a bit, you know. And you know, get to know all your neighbors. You know, go for walks, talk. I mean, if you like shopping, I don't know if that would be a good place. So anyways, I got a lot of messages here. So let me go back to what I was talking about. So someone's asking me, poop hit the fan. Somebody asked me, when will the poop hit the fan? I bought into that whole 2012 crap back in the day, in 2007. Because I used to follow a lot of Charles McKenna's work. And his mathematical whatever thing. And pointing to 2012, December 12, 2012, whatever. December, what was it? I can't remember, 2012. And I believed in it. I actually believed that something was going to happen with the Mayan calendar ending and blah, 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 and all that crap. And I bought into it. I thought the world was going to end. So I made that video. So, how long do you think Australia have? How long do you think Australia have? Someone's asking. Not much time, guys. With the middle class moving out of the big cities, and the middle class pays taxes that actually supports the infrastructure in the big cities. The middle class is golden to the city. The middle class is what makes the city run. Middle class goes, and when doctors can't afford to live there, and police officers and stuff, they're just going to move to somewhere better and greener and brighter. Someone says, I think the poop will hit the fan. Canada's it is very expensive. I got my property tax the other day. I have to pay 4 large for my property tax. 4 large. And Estevan is saying, Vancouver is a nightmare city to live in. That's why, you should watch my video, guys. I did 10 reasons why I left Vancouver. And, okay, comments are flying right now, guys. Saturday night, Mike in the night. So, let's go back to this real quick. I know we're talking about Australia, but this is Australia right here. 600,000. This is what you buy for 600 grand in Australia. Now, I always get pooped on. Every time I bring up places in Florida. Oh, look what you could buy in Coral Springs for 150 grand. Oh, look at this house you could buy for 175 in Fort Lauderdale with the pool. And I always get pooped on, and people keep telling me, Mike, Florida's crap. It's a poop hole. It's a waste of time, Mike. Florida's not good. Okay, I think it was fantastic. I had it the time of my life, but everyone is always giving me a hard time about Florida. Stop comparing Florida to Australia homes. Well, today I got a treat for you. We're going to Macon, Georgia. I've been to Macon, Georgia. It's an up-and-coming city. It's beautiful. There's jobs. It's in the central part of Georgia. I'll show you what it looks like. It's south. It's a couple of hours south of Atlanta. State of Georgia. Oops, spelled it wrong. It's a southern state. And I'll show you where it is for people that are not sure where the state of Georgia. Georgia's right here. It is on the border of Florida, on the border of South Carolina, and on the border of Alabama and Tennessee. Now, I get pooed on every time. So there's Macon right there. You see where I'm pointing my mouse? That's Macon, Georgia. It is about a 3-hour drive from Valdosta. It's about a 4-hour drive from the Florida border. And it is only a 2-hour drive from Atlanta. So you could always go to Atlanta, the big city, if you ever want to. But Macon is big enough that has enough infrastructure to do what you don't need to. You have all your big stores. You have all your shopping, nightlife. Macon is big enough to do all this stuff. There's Macon, Georgia right there. I've been there. I've spent time there. I know what's there. I understand. You know, it's really beautiful there. Now, okay, now, oh, but my buddy here, Manon, you just missed the whole Australia talk here. Lots of Australia talk. He's from Australia too. So, Anon just came on. So I'm comparing Macon, Georgia, because everyone is pooping on me because I always talk about Florida. So I've been to Macon, so here we go. Macon, you saw where it is on the map. There's a little region right here. So this is what you get. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, $129,000. And then you could pick up this one on a ½ acre of land. 3 bedrooms. Let me just click on it so you can see it. Macon, Georgia. All the washrooms redone. Hardwood flooring. And they're asking for that house $110,000. Estimated mortgage $469 per month. Macon, Georgia, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, 1,800 square feet. And it's an older building, so it's got high ceilings. It was built in 1949, so it's got higher ceilings. So that is one there I want to show you guys. Your mortgage payment would be $469 per month. And that is, I just wanted to mention to you guys, that is actually including property tax. I checked. I'm paying $400 a month for property tax. Here. Okay, and then I saw this one right here. I really like this house in Macon, Georgia. $130,000. It's got this really cool back area here. Like if you want to have a party and have a couple of friends over. The kitchen's kind of old. It does have a big backyard. It does have a big living room. It does have a big eater. And then you have a separate garage. And, yeah, the kitchen is old, so I'm not going to go to the kitchen. So, $130,000. Estimated mortgage is $536 per month. And that is including property tax. I like this one. I actually like this house. This one's cute. Hold on. This one here is on sale, $37,000. 3 bedroom, 1 bath, 1,000 square feet, $37,000. And hold on a second. You can buy that for $600,000 in Australia! Or you could buy that for $37,000 in Macon, Georgia. And, hold on. You could go to these streets. Welcome to Macon, Georgia. So I'm going to pick cities once in a while that I've been to that I could tell you guys about that I know. That one's 37 grand for 3 bedrooms. Here's a foreclosure. It's a studio though. It's 1 room for $15,900. Your estimated mortgage, $68 a month, which is if you're starting out and you're working your first job, you just got out of high school, you want to move out of your parents' house, you could pick that up for under $20,000, $15,900, and you could put a couple of $100 in paint, maybe reshingle the roof for $400, $500, get some friends, case of beer, hang out, and then you can get a nice grand home, like a really nice kind of cozy fireplace type home, $184,000 for this. Or you could buy that in Australia for $600 grand. Let's move on here. Look at this. This is the it's on Beaufort Place in Macon, Georgia. 3 beds, 2 bath, almost 2,000 square feet. It was built in 1920, so it's got a good foundation, good structure. Building codes back in the day were really, really, really like they had pride in what they did back in the 20s and 30s. Really renovated, nice crown moldings. I just want to see the backyard. Backsplash is updated. Yeah, nice wood doors. That's nice. That's a nice home. I think that's a beautiful home. Let's go back. I saw some really nice homes here for under $100,000. This one is nice. This one was nice for $84,000. There's another one for $97,000. Here's a good starter home again for teenagers that move out of their parents' house. It's they call it like shotgun shack, where if you open the front and the back door, you could shoot right through the house. If that's what you call a shotgun shack down in the south. $9,900, and your average mortgage payment is $42 a month, and that's 1,156 square feet, 3 bedrooms. Mind you, you're gonna have to spend $5,000-6,000 just to upgrade the house a bit, just to clean it up. Like I said, you get out of high school, parents are bugging you, pay 10 grand, just mortgage that out. You could pay it off in 5-6 years. What else we got here? This one's not bad. This one's on Patterson Street in Macon. It's a nice area, and they're asking $49,000 for it. 3 beds, 2 baths, 1,834 square feet. And oh, look at that wood! Oh my God, look at this wood! Oh my God, that's like real. This is real. This looks like it's real Brazil cherry wood. Holy crap. This flooring is very old, but it's very expensive flooring. Very expensive flooring. Oh yeah, that is, you can tell right here with the cracks in the wood that it's very expensive flooring. It looks like it's been resurfaced too professionally. And for this house, they're asking $49,000. Or you could buy this for $600 grand in Australia. Anyways, what people are going a little wild. Okay. Oats. I wish house prices were that cheap in Canada. Oh God, everyone would own a home and live a comfortable life. Yeah, but that's not. Yeah, no, that's not the point. They don't want that to happen. God forbid. I'm paying $4 grand in property tax. I could buy one of those houses free and clear in 2 years, 3 years in property tax. I'm paying. Then Lee is saying, do you think Australia have at least a year or 2 years or shorter? I think Australia is, with the young people leaving, I think Australia's got another 9 months to 13 months left on its in its lifeline. It's got a lifeline of about 13 months. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm seeing. That's what the trend's showing. Then Anon says, a taxi driver earlier was telling me how he serviced these big mansions that are mostly occupied by old farts sitting in their 20-bedroom house all alone. salivating over their property values. Get the truckers on strike. They control the world. Yeah, they do. 600 grand. Come on, guys. 600 grand for that. Or this for 49 grand in Macon, Georgia. And if you're just tuning in, that's Macon, Georgia. I've been there. I've stayed there. I've shopped there. I've walked up the old boulevard streets, the old Macon downtown. I've actually went to this church to check it out. So, I'm telling you, it's got a lot of blues, a lot of good music. Greetings from Macon, Georgia. Oh yeah, it's got a lot of good blues music. I think I have a picture beside this statue, to be honest with you. I think I do. I just have to check my... A lot of history. Look at the old theater, which is still in use today. A lot of industrial work there. So back to this. 49 grand. Let's go back here. There's a 2-bedroom here. I looked at this one. It's 22,000. Oh, this one's not that bad. Little cute home. A good cute starter home. 79,000 bucks for a family. Look at this wood. Holy Max, this is real wood. You never lift these floors, ever. You sand them and you resurface them. What? Look at the wood doors and the window frames. Holy smokes. I would never really touch too much of this house. I'd resurface it with some good varnish. Really expensive. Good. Look at the backyard. Oh yeah, the ceiling fans on the patios outside. Oh, the patios outside. Yeah. The ceiling fans outside. It's very common in the South. Built in 1950. You got high ceilings to work with. Let's keep going here. Oh, this one's nice. 195,000. Beautiful home. Big land, eh? I saw one here for 4 acres. It was selling for $40,000. This was on Yorkshire Way, Macon, Georgia. 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2,500 square feet. Fantastic family home near lake. Features 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, kitchen, countertops, quartz countertops. It's a newer home. It was built in 91. And it is 195,000. It's a nice home. It's got crown moldings all around. It's got an updated kitchen. Yeah. And then 804 bucks a month for a mortgage. So, I mean, if you work minimum wage, you could own these things. You don't even have to go into a stressful, high-paying job where the bosses give you a... Ooh, this one's nice. 55,000 bucks. And beautiful starter home for a starter family. Macon, Georgia, 31206 is the zip code. 4 bedrooms, 1 bath, 1,300 square feet. Average mortgage is $235 a month. So let's say interest rates go up to 10%. On $55,000, you'll be paying $5,500 a year in mortgage payment, in mortgage financing charges, and you'll be paying about $560 a month if rates go up to 10%. So you're not gonna, you know, you'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? And again, the wood on the floors. I love the hurricane shutters outside. They're beautiful. I love that. And they built this extension on the house here to add more space. I love the wood floors. Nice garage. Yep. So, yeah. So people are 55. So $235 a month. Oh, Anon is saying, wow. There's ones here for 45 bucks a month. Your mortgage payment. Those starter homes for 20 grand, 30 grand starter homes. Like this one here. This is a beautiful starter home. Family gets married. Husband marries wife. Need a place. 170 a month. 39,000. 964 square feet. 3 beds, 1 bath. Use one. You know, especially if you don't have children, use one of the bedrooms as an office. Maybe work from home. And there you go. You're paying $41 per square foot. This Lots. There's thousands and tens of thousands of homes I could show you guys. Tens of thousands of homes I could show you guys for that price. But there's land here. 0.66 acre lot. You don't like the houses? Buy this land. 0.66 over half an acre. $9,500 for that piece of land. You can put that on your credit card if you really wanted to. And then if your family gets a bit bigger. Oh, there's a nice land here for sale. Look, beautiful land at Heathwood. 40 grand. Lot is ready to begin your clearing. Units are there. Remeasured land sizes and plots of land. 40 grand. So for those that don't like the houses I'm showing, this is another good starter one. It needs a roof though. No, it doesn't. $29,128 a month. 950 square feet. 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. Yeah, 40K home in Florida is $3 million in Vancouver. Yeah, for sure. No, and on most of these properties are actually most of the properties I'm showing here are including property tax in your monthly payment. So, yeah, no, I'm paying $4,000 a month here for $4,000 a year for property taxes. In parts of the states like these smaller towns, you're probably looking at my friend Anthony in Texas. He's got I think it's 20 acres, and he's got a land. He's got his house and everything, and he's paying, I think, like $1,600 a year, $1,500 a year, if that. I gotta ask him. He's not in the comments right now. So, yeah, I could be here looking. Or, you want to buy that for $600,000? You want to buy that for $600,000, Australia? Look at that, 600 grand. Yeah, look, it's got a backyard. Ooh, look at that, 537,000. Come to Macon, Georgia, where you can start your life. Beauty schools directory. Oh, beautiful, quaint town. Everything you need. 2-hour drive from Atlanta. 4 hours from the Florida border. Take the kids to Disneyland. So much, but so many homes here. 3 beds, 2 bath, 39,000. $63,000, 3 beds, 2 bath, 1,200 square feet. There's so many of them. 90 grand. Anyways, guys, I really wanted to show this to you guys. Everyone keeps picking on me because I keep picking cities in Florida. I've been to Macon. I like it. I think it's great. Lots of blues music. When you go outside some of the cafes, you got some of those guys playing guitars outside, playing some blues guitar, and have your coffee outside, and, you know, just watch life go by, and, you know, you don't have to worry about your finances so much. You know, man, you could work in a nice coffee shop and maybe own a small coffee shop and just get by, you know. So the real exchange rate is okay. The real exchange rate is 50,000 into $3 million is 0.16 cents US Canadian. Yeah, it's very nice down there. No. Georgia is nice. They don't get snow and sleet and I remember one time when I was in Atlanta, and they got some really bad rain in December. I think it was January. It got some really bad freezing rain. They shut the whole city down for freezing rain because they've never seen anything like it. I was like, holy crap. Because it's usually above 13 Celsius is the coldest it gets. 12 is the coldest it gets Celsius. So it's close to Florida. So guys, I kind of wanted to put this out there. It's midnight here. It's getting late. It's already Sunday morning here. And, you know, every time now someone's going to pick on me and start telling me that Oh, Macon is this and that. And look at this 3-acre lot, 36 grand. 3 acres, 36 grand. And a cul-de-sac, too. So when people tell me, oh, yeah, Mike, Macon is this, Macon's that, I'll just pick another city that I've been to that I know where you could buy a decent house under 100 grand. Like a decent home and raise your family. You know, there's some big ones here, like 5 bedrooms for 300,000. Anyways, thanks guys for this Australia housing edition. Hoopla versus Georgia. Housing, Hoopla in Australia. Australia versus Macon, Georgia. If you're just tuning in, rewind this to the beginning. You want to see this, especially right to the end. And we could talk. And we could discuss in the comment sections. Woo, look at this. 47,000. 3 bedroom, 2 bath. And it's got a lot of land too. Not bad at all, actually. It's only been 9 days on the market. At that price, it won't sit around too long. Ooh, look at this one. 63,000. $269 a month. Not bad. It's the wood on the financing. The wood is what you're buying. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Someone's saying for $3 million Canadian, I could buy a bungalow. $3 million US, I could buy a castle in France, Spain, and Italy. Yeah, that's very true. Okay, guys, have a good night. I'm going to sleep. Comment below. Let me know what's going on. And next time I do another Australia or Vancouver or whatever city we're going to be focusing on, our country, I'm just going to start bringing up cities I have lived in personally. Not lived in, but been to and know. And we could go. So this is for Macon, Georgia today. Macon, Georgia. Check it out. It's a great city. Great place to raise family, lay roots. And you could pick up a house for under 100 grand. A lot of school events, high school events going on. If you like blues music, grassroots, raise a family, Macon's the place to be. Macon, Georgia, lots of history, and lots of grassroots. Amazing food! Amazing food. Amazing southern food. Good night.